Hey everybody, today we want to share with you 5 tips for better monetizing a small blog. Now, this is important because I would monetize a bigger site differently.
Yeah.
Usually with a bigger site, I'm looking at what's a membership course. How do I get a bunch of email addresses to make info products? Could I make my own product kind of thing? And with a smaller site, you don't have as many people running through the funnel, and so you want quicker, easier wins that can be done more passively.
Most small sites are going to be monetized primarily through a few different things. You got some ads, you've definitely got affiliate products, and maybe some lead gen. That's mostly it for smaller sites. Mm-hmm. And so tip number 1 is to put those affiliate heavy posts in the spotlight. We can do that, yes, by making them prominent on the homepage, but most people aren't even coming to your homepage, to be quite frank. And so better ways to do that are through a good interlinking strategy. Mm-hmm. So we're going to link from a lot of blog posts that are just really informational. And then where it makes sense, where it fits in the blog post, we're going to do a good job of putting a link and then really selling that link to get people to want to go click over to another post that's more heavy affiliate. That is opposed to putting a whole bunch of affiliate links everywhere, which is going to hurt your SEO and hurt the user experience.
Another way to do this is to take some of the information from those really heavy affiliate posts and bring some of that into your other posts. So rather than taking 1,000 people came to this page, I can get 5% of them to get over to that heavily monetized page, and then from there, maybe 5% of those people go to Amazon and 2% of those people buy. That's just hard. We've just cut a lot of people out. So what if instead you just take some affiliate heavy posts that are popular, and then at the end of a blog post on who the heck knows what, that's related at least, you have just one last subheading, and then my 5 products that I love for scuba diving or whatever you're writing about. Just at the very end of the blog post, and it's just a link to your 5 favorite things right there. You may get a much better click-through rate instead of sending people through that funnel.
What I have seen a lot of people do is they've got a really good affiliate-heavy post, and so they want to send a lot of paid traffic there. I would actually caution you against that most of the time, unless you have some good data that shows that, for every 100 people that go here, I make $5. Like, okay, that's actually pretty good. So at that point, it might be worth it. But most of the time, you're going to spend a heck of a lot more money than you're going to make in return for doing something like that. Yeah,
you've got to have a post that just destroys on the income side. Where you're selling a $1,000 info product that you can target the perfect customer for buying that thing. Mm-hmm. It could make sense, but usually you're going to lose your shirt.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, number 2 is coaching services. Coaching is something that most new bloggers don't consider, and you really should, depending on the topic. It doesn't always make sense, but where it does make sense, consulting can just be huge. People are so glad sometimes to have someone that they can go to for an answer. Right now, if there were a consulting service for fixing 3D printer, like you're having a problem with your 3D printer, you just Skype me and I'll show you how to... Oh my goodness, take my money. I've been so frustrated with that thing. And there's so many other things like that I would love to work with a human that I could just quickly schedule a call, Skype 30 minutes, and I would be glad to pay you to fix my problem.
And notice I didn't list that as one of kind of the main monetization sources for new blogs. It's because most of the time people don't think about that because they're like, who would buy a coaching or consulting service from me? Mm-hmm. The reality is that the people on your website, most of them are very transactional, but a few of them may be actual fans. They may start to really like your content. And a few more of them may have a really big pain point like Jim right here, and they just need someone that they can call and get some help from. And so it honestly is a really good opportunity when you're still small.
The list is long for what you could do. You're just an awesome elk hunter. You get your elk every year. You could do an e-scouting review where people are saying, hey, I'm planning to hunt here on the map, and you spend half an hour with them and show, ooh, yeah, you're going to want to go to this area and do these things. That would be pretty awesome. There's so many things that I would love to get help for, but I just don't know how to find the guy or the gal to do. Yep. So consulting and coaching services, review services are great.
The next one is to get a little bit more creative with lead gen and affiliate. And by that, what I mean is like, you don't have to just come up with products that are on the nose. I can't tell you how many articles there are on like best credit cards for college students, right? But if you have a website that's about college and you have some content that's just good tips for college students, maybe even in a specific area, like throwing in a good affiliate link or a lead gen link to a credit card, man, that may do extremely well. And then you're not competing in Google for those really, really high competition search terms. There are a lot of great affiliate programs out there that may fit your industry really, really well, but may not be like right on the nose for an article that you can compete for.
If you notice a trend as we're going through this list, we're trying to get you into the higher dollar stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard. It's just a slog when you have a new site
Making pennies.
and you're making $2 off every 100th person that you sent to Amazon. It's like, oh, that's just painful, right?
Yeah.
And so when you can do a consulting service where you make $50 in one shot, like suddenly, I've only got to sell a couple handfuls of these and I'm making real money, you know?
Right.
All these ideas are about getting to the higher dollar stuff. And the next one is no different. So virtual summits and flash deals can be awesome. They can also be cool opportunities for you to work with other bloggers who are kind of at your same or a little bit higher level in your industry. So let's say I was making a site about interior design. I could go to the guy who has a YouTube channel about, color theory and choosing perfect colors for your home, somebody who's an interior decorator, somebody who's a home builder, etc., and say, hey, everybody prepare an awesome presentation. We'll all send this out to our audiences, and then on this Saturday, we're going to have a virtual summit where people can log on. They all pay $50 and they can watch all of our different presentations, and then we could even sell recordings of those classes later on long term. So a virtual summit can be great. Also a flash deal, do the same thing, get a bunch of people with info products in your industry, everybody contributes some kind of digital product, and then you all blow it out to your audiences. Now you now have a connection to a lot of people in your industry that's really valuable, and you're utilizing a lot of audiences to build yours.
And exactly, and that's another key point here is that all of these other audiences now, they all know about you, and they all have, you're a part of what it was that they purchased, and so they're more likely to come back. You actually grow your audience substantially.
Legitimate link building.
It's called outreach and industry participation. The last one is to focus on what we call the 90% tasks, the things that are actually going to make a difference in your business. And for bloggers and YouTubers, that, in almost every case, is content creation.
Press the publish button.
Yep.
So easy to get distracted with stuff.
I've got a bunch of content on my website. Now let's just focus on making more money from it.
Optimizing it and looking through your Google Analytics and seeing if we can freshen up the site a bit and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's like if you notice you go through a period, it's like, oh shoot, I've been working and thinking about my site constantly. My spouse I've driven her nuts because all I talk about is this blog, but I'm spending 2 hours thinking about my site for every 1 hour that I'm actually moving the needle and pressing publish.
Yeah.
It happens to all of us.
So this is going to feel like a shameless plug, but legit, in the book, Work Energy, you talk about your experience with improved photography. And there was a point in the history of that business where it was declining, and you talk about it was hard to know why, because you had employees that were working hard, optimizing your business, right? Coming up with new products to sell, coming out with new things, and the business starts to decline. And why? It's because you lose traffic because you're not creating new content all the time.
Yep.
That is where 10% of the work gives 90% of the result. You could spend literally hours a day on optimizations that just won't move the needle.
That's really what I think the value of our course, Project 24, is.
Yeah.
You're going to learn a ton of new stuff. You're going to learn a ton of secret sauce and specific ways that we do things and silver bullets that just fix problems for you. You're going to get a lot of that. But if I were to say the one reason that I see our board, we have a map out there that's just full of pins of people that are earning 100, 1,000 full-time income from Project 24. The reason it's working for people is because you are so on track. It's like step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. You waste no time. You don't have to go reinvent the wheel every time you want to try something new on your site. It's a specific step-by-step of what to do. So if you want to check it out, our course is at incomeschool.com/project24. And it's a step-by-step course in addition to our podcast that we do every week that goes out to our members. Tools like Akabato, our new affiliate plugin. There's so much in Project 24, all for one price.